Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's go. And so, yes. I know. You've seen it. It is the Tower card, but don't worry. It doesn't always mean that there is a Tower moment going on right now. It might not even have anything to do with you. It might be affecting you a little bit, but it doesn't always mean this is something happening to you. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see, what are the tea leaves gonna say? So immediately, I just want to point out we have a person on a horse headed out. Get out of here. That's like the feeling. Just get on the horse and go, right? Now, we also have a mer person over here. So the mer person usually indicates to me one of two things. We have a person that's either really good at going into the deep, ocean of the subconscious, and they're really good at bringing out symbols and little fragments of concepts and this, just whatever you can imagine, putting it together into something creative. It can also be the calling to destruction, right? Like the siren, which is either the bird person, it's like half bird, half person, or half fish, half person. And we know the story. It is the mermaid that kind of sings that sweet song. The sailors hear it. They turn their boats towards the beautiful, beautiful voice, and they end up, hitting the cliff or the rocks or whatever, and their boat, or ship, I should say. Don't call it a boat, Lenor. It's not a boat. Their ship, their sea vessel, it sinks and all is lost, right? So I'm guessing because we have this Tower energy, it is a invitation to destruction. And I feel like, you've caught yourself here. You're like, not for me, no thanks. Not today. And getting on that horse and going, right? But what is it? What is happening? What is going on in your life right now that you are feeling, the pull of, maybe something that is a little dangerous for your situation, something that can become pretty destructive in your life. I'm interested to find out here. So we're gonna keep turning this thing. So it looks like we have a person who is, we have the number 2, right here, 72. We have a person who's on their knee, okay, in front of somebody else who's standing here. You can see this is like the body and the head and maybe even some hair flowing in the wind. We also have the person over here. Here's the head, here's the body, here's the leg. So I am guessing we have somebody who is trying to gain your affections, and maybe even somebody you are maybe getting more serious with. Maybe this is a relationship that is already formed. You might even be married already. But I do feel like there is this wanting to kind of renew your connection with one another, right? For whatever reason, it feels like there has been some distance, and there is a wanting for your affections, your attention, your presence. And I feel like, for you, that is something that I feel like you want as well. But it also feels like you are in this place of feeling kind of skittish, right? Maybe even a little bit fickle, right? Maybe going along at times with things, not with your whole heart. And when you get in the situation, your whole personality, your demeanor, your desire has shifted. And I feel like this is where at times like maybe some resentment comes up. Maybe even the impulse to act out or do the opposite of the dang thing, you know? And so I feel like, not that anything needs to necessarily change too much, but maybe a time for you to really do some kind of soul searching, figuring out what is it that you actually want. Not in connection to anybody else's wants or desires or needs or your responsibilities or, you know, the promises that you've made or anything like this. Outside of all of that, what is it that you actually want in life, in the universe, right? And I think that this is where we kind of end up a lot of times when we have this tower energy. Because let's face it, if you've ever been through any kind of personal tragedy, if somebody you are very close with passed away, or, you know, maybe they passed away unexpectedly, or maybe you lost like your job and you couldn't find something out, and, you know, you're in this place of despair. It feels like all is gone and, you know, you've been forsaken and, you know, all this feeling, it's all stripped away. All of the extra of life gone. And you're just there surviving. Trying to figure out, what am I going to do next? Okay? It's an awful, awful place to be, and it can be very traumatizing, but it is also at times the ultimate mover in our lives. Sometimes we don't realize that life needs to change. Sometimes we don't realize we're just going through the motions and we're here because it's what we know. Or we're doing the dang thing because, well, that's just what people do, right? We don't always have that connection to our authentic being or our true will. And what that comes down to is, why are you here in a physical body? Why are you manifest as a human being on this earth in this time? Why? I don't have the answer, but you do. Each of us has our answer. And we know it. We know it just like that, but we don't always recognize it. We don't always want to take ownership for it. We don't always really know what to do with it. We oftentimes think it's going to be some noble pursuit. Some, you know, profound thing. It's not always that profound. Sometimes it's just, I just want to find a way to live without terror, without feeling like I'm not good enough, or feeling like I always need to know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, or, you know, whatever it is, these things that we put on ourselves. Sometimes it really is just, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to love. I'm here to, you know, feel good sometimes, and other times, you know, just really try to do my best. It doesn't always have to be some deep, deep thing. But we have to, at some point, if we want to have any kind of meaning in our life, we have to figure out, what is it for us? And it might not always be the same. Why I am here when I'm, 15 years old might be a way different answer than when I'm 40 or 75 or 93. The answer is not always the same. So I also see we have this fish, right? So I feel like there's some concern about money, and I think that's one of the biggest things in life, right? For all of us, but also for you. Concerns about money. And I feel like within your family dynamic, maybe even your relationship, this is kind of the thing that gets everybody in a twist. And I feel like for you, it's something that you don't want to partake in. I mean, who really does, right? But it's something that I feel like it is so, it feels damaging to the psyche to constantly be worried about money, paying the bills, doing enough, living up to the expectations of your family or your community, or, looking around and seeing, oh, those people I went to high school with, they're all, making so much money and going on vacations and, faking their lives on social media. So, wow, it's so beautiful, right? And what am I doing? It is a soul destroyer, living like that, being worried about, how well other people can fake it. How well other people are doing, making money, or, whatever, living the dream. But I feel like as you live your truth, finding your truth, right? And finding a way to honor that, that's when the money starts to show up for you. And I do believe this will come through a group effort, but I also think that it is has a lot to do with your creativity, your ability to conceive of just brilliant things, beautiful ideas, and create. You also have a skill set of some kind. I see children around you playing. You're really good at keeping kids engaged. You might be a teacher. You might be some kind of childcare or in entertainment. I keep imagining like putting on puppet shows. Now we have a person standing here and it looks like they're holding some kind of puppet, right? Here's their head and their arms are raised, and then they have some kind of, almost like a shadow puppet or something. Now we also have these children here, and it looks like they're all kind of, climbing over one another, and we have a dragon right here. Okay, here's the dragon. Now, the dragon is representative of this year. We are in the year of the dragon. Okay, so as this lunar year, now the dragon has to do with the lunar calendar. Okay, the solar calendar is the one that we know. It's January to December, into December. And the lunar, it fluctuates, I think. I don't know, but I know that I think this year, the year of the dragon goes into February at least, maybe even, March. But this next period of time leading to the end of the lunar year, I see a lot of stuff with kids, being around kids, feeling like, I feel like it's like you feel like you're achieving something, right? You're watching these kids grow, flourish, learn things, enjoy themselves. And you are directly a part of that. And I think that is so meaningful for you. And I feel like you should lean into your ability to communicate with younger people, your ability to teach them, to guide them, to be a mentor for them. I think that's very important for you. Now we also have the letters R-I-T-M. I don't know what that means, but it is there. We also have the crawdad or the lobster, which indicates there is a lingering melancholy. I feel like, you know, we think of Leos often as being quite, you know, fiery and charismatic and happy and joyful and or angry and destructive and, you know, reactive and stuff. But the melancholy that we think of in like maybe a Capricorn or Aquarius or even a Cancer. I always think of the Cancers as being the most melancholy of them all. But you still are within the spectrum, right, of emotion. So of course you can have moments or even prolonged periods of time where you are living in that melancholy. And I feel like it just kind of, if you can imagine, like walking down the street and your little crawdad is walking behind you, okay? I don't think it's always worth fighting that feeling. Especially if it's kind of a baseline. And for some of us, it truly is. But if it starts to become too much, please reach out to your support people, your counselor, therapist, support group, whoever it is. Okay? And if you don't have any of those things, you don't have somebody to talk to, there are phone numbers, and it's different in each country, but you can easily look those up. Now we have the castle down at the bottom. We have the castle. We also have Anubis sitting up here. If you are not aware of or familiar of Anubis, Anubis is a god, an Egypto god, that is a psychopomp, which means somebody who guides you into the underworld or into death or whatever comes right after you transcend your physical form. It is also an initiator. Anubis is also the jackal-headed dog, somewhat of a loner, although very closely related to Thoth. And I feel like is the god of like embalming and, you know, these kinds of things. But ultimately, seeing Anubis here, it is like seeing kind of the figure of like Saturn or death or you know, something like this. Again, I don't think that that's what it is. I don't know that there's no, I don't think that this is like a physical transcending. Nobody is leaving, right? Anytime soon, hopefully. But I do feel like it is an end. It is an invitation into the next room or the next chapter, onto the next cycle. So I do feel like whatever is going on that has you feeling kind of like muddled or, you know, trapped or stuck or like you're not really sure which way to go, I feel that there will be clarity and you will know. Now, also the castle, I feel like there is a big emphasis on getting things right at home, domestically, okay? So any kind of like household chores you've been putting off, or maybe there's like some projects that need to get done before the season really takes hold, or, you know, whatever it is. I feel like there is a calling to get these things done sooner rather than later. Because I think that, especially for very active signs like Leo, to be in a state of putting off, procrastination, waiting to the last minute, or even just like not doing something, it eats you up. You can't stop thinking about it. So just do it. Just do the things. Get them done. I'm very much like this. I can't stand it when I know I have like a whole bunch of stuff to do. And of course I don't want to get up. I want to sit in bed and watch YouTube. I want to watch my podcasts and, you know, hang out with my daughter and you know, eat breakfast in bed. But I also know if I get up before dawn, get my things done, I'm gonna feel on top of the world. Like I can waste a little bit of time later on if I, you know, have cleaned all the floors and I got the laundry put away and, you know, everybody's clothes are set out and all of that. I know it's gonna be a pretty decent day. So don't put it off, or if you have been putting it off, just get it done. Okay. And I don't know what else to tell you besides, it alleviates a lot of stress. The other thing is just being on time to stuff. And I know, Leo, sometimes you all have some problems with being on time. It's because you're busy and you just get distracted. I think that's the big thing. But here it is. And I know people have probably told you your whole life, just show up a little bit earlier, plan on things being, half an hour before it's supposed to be. So you show up early. But I'm just going to be another person to pile on. And I'm almost kind of like too early kind of person. Although I'll sit in my car. I don't care. I'll sit outside of your house for 30 minutes, do my thing, but I'm always early. It does. It helps with the stress though. It really does. And, thankfully, I married somebody I can't even believe I met somebody who shows up to things even earlier than I do. But he will hide. Like, he'll park down the street and around the corner so you don't know he's hella early. Oh, hecka early. But he's very early. Which is funny because my daughter, she is in all these different classes and stuff. And one of them is held at a person's home. Like, they have their business at their home. And we're always super early to everything. So he'll be like, all right, well, let's just go in. It's like, 20 minutes before class. And I'm like, you can't just show up, roll into somebody's personal space and just like show up 20 minutes early to something. We have to be like 5 minutes early. I think that's okay. That's acceptable. But it blows my mind thinking like I met somebody who is even more anxious about being late than I am. And it's perfect because, we often are. I can only think of a few times that we've been late to things in the last like year or so. All right, so let's see. We also have, it looks like a blackbird right here. This indicates to me that you are on the right path with the things that you are choosing. The blackbird, whenever I see like a crow, a raven, I know I'm going the right way. We also have a Taurus person, very Taurus energy. I almost wonder if this is a parent or possibly like a sibling that's older. We have a solar energy. So I'm guessing that there's going to be some news coming up here. We also have repeating eights. Some kind of news that they have for you. For everybody. It looks like for everybody. But it is. It's a kind of a moment of illumination, of revelation, of everything starting to make sense in this strand of thinking. So whatever's going on with them, it's all going to be coming to light pretty soon. And I think that they will they will deliver that information. You don't need to go digging around to find out. They're going to be very transparent. But it is all in their own time. So give them that. Which is hard. Let me just say, even just me saying that gave me anxiety, because I'm like that person, if I know something is going on, I'm like, just tell me, just tell me, just tell me. If you don't tell me now, I'm going to be thinking about this for like weeks. Please just tell me. You know, I am that person. I don't like surprises. I don't like to be surprised. Let's see. So we have the number 7. 8 and 7, 8 and 7, 8 and 7. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to go over here. We're going to do our lucky numbers. I want to look at these lucky numbers. All right. 76. 76. 29. 76, 29. Oh. 20. 20. All right. And to finish it off, we're going to do our Mary Magdalene Oracle cards. I'm just going to flip through, stop where it feels right. Ascension. Farther up is further in. Farther up is further in. All right. Getting into that deep self-work. I like it. Okay, Leo, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I hope that you know that. It is forever and ever and ever, no matter where you are, what you're doing, if we ever speak again or not. And let's see, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. So go ahead and leave that comment. Other than that, I'm going to say again, I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk in just a few days. Good night.